What's up, y'all? The only poetic here. I'm back once again with another YouTube video, man. Yes, you know what I'm saying? It has been a while since I have uploaded on this channel simply because I went to jail. And if you haven't been sleeping on a rock, you know what I'm saying? Back when I had my iPhone, I made lots of clips talking about me going to CVS, and I believe I spoke it on the YouTube channel itself. You know what I'm saying? About the series of events leading up to what caused my arrest and all that in between. You know what I'm saying? So I want to tell the storyline to all this up until now. Yes, I did cut my dreads, you know what I'm saying? I got a new look. I had a midlife crisis, you know what I'm saying? A rude awakening. I decided, you know what I'm saying? I look at life differently, all that in between, right? So I just want to explain everything from beginning to end. So, with that being said, make sure, you know what I'm saying, you sit back, relax, tell everybody, you know, go tell a friend to tell a friend, go tell a cousin to tell a relative, go tell a brother to tell a sister. You know what I'm saying? That this is going to be the final update. You see what I'm saying? Y'all remember I did an update not too like a few months ago while I was making the August album, right? I made a video called Update where I was wearing a blue Nike shirt. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about I got a bunch of hate comments. I was kind of just talking about life, the album itself, whatever, right? This is gonna be sort of like this video, but better. You know what I'm saying? But first, like I said, I want to start from beginning to end, and we're gonna go from there. You know what I'm saying? So here we go, man. So after I made scam lyric videos, stuff like that, I had to go make the STD song and shit like that, right? And when I made this STD song, it was interesting because, you know what I'm saying, I was saying stuff on social media. I was saying death threats. I was saying, you know what I'm saying, don't go up to the store, this, that, and the third. And believe it or not, you know what I'm saying, including seeing those death threats, I seen a post, Money in the Grave, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody knows that song, right? I seen that get posted, you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking to myself, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking a bit risk, you know what I'm saying, going up here. I very much, well, this might be my last, you know what I'm saying, go around, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, okay, if I'm gonna die or whatever, I want to be from that CVS worker. I don't want to be from no fucking cop. You see what I'm saying? Like if you go try to kill me, do it the right way. Don't do it by a fucking police. You know what I'm saying? Do it by a human. You know what I mean? So, or don't do it by fucking torturing me in jail. You gotta do shit right. Don't do shit wrong. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? If I would go out by a CVS worker, I could take it. You know what I'm saying? It's just my pride. It's my pride and shit. You know what I'm saying? After a certain point, my pride starts to kick into gear. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes my pride could be more of a liability than an ally. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes my pride will have me doing outrageous shit. Sometimes my pride will have me. It will help me in difficult situations. You know what I'm saying? So it's either between, right? You know what I mean? So to review, you know what I'm saying, what was going on as far as the situation, right? I shoplift in stores often, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know I got banned from Circle K, right? I went to Circle K, I eventually got caught stealing. They had police already pre-planned. They got me, they threw me in jail, I got out in like 3 days, you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking the CVS situation was gonna be like that, except we were just gonna fight or whatever. After we fought, I was gonna walk out, right? I was like, okay, if we fight, you know what I'm saying, I will leave. You know what I'm saying? That was my like idea, right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was gonna run from me. I didn't know he was gonna, avoid fighting, right? So I'm like, okay, you avoid fighting and you calling the police, this, that, and the third, I'm gonna sit here and wait for them, right? But I'm about to do all the events leading up to that. But let me just talk about this. This is real important. I add every detail I can in this video because, this is the last update. This is the last update. I need to add as much information as possible, right? So, first time I went up to CVS, I just went to go pick up regular shit, you know what I'm saying? And then this guy, you know what I'm saying, he just ended up he wanted to stop me from stealing for some reason, you know what I'm saying? He walked up really close to me, you know what I'm saying? He was close as hell. He pulled his pants up and shit as if he was getting ready to touch. I mean, he damn near touched me, man. Damn near touched me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, why is he pressing me? Why is this guy pressing me like that for? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm like, why is he doing that for? And I ignored him and shit because I was sick. Throat was hurting and shit. I'm like, bro, like, I looked really, really bad that day. Like that day, he made me look really bad on camera and all that other shit. And I made people that look at me and, all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I let them down low key. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, this guy made me look like a punk type shit. Like, he made me look bad. He made me look bad. Like that's something that will never ever, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't go out like that, right? You know what I'm saying? I can't go out like that, you know what I mean? So I got on my phone. I was talking about like, okay, next time I go out there, I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? Let's see what he's really on. See if he got that same energy, right? So the second time I went up there, he was trying to call the police. He was following me around the store. You see what I'm saying? So I took what I needed to get and I headed out. And I'm like, okay, this guy trying to call the police on me. You go from damn near touching me to calling the police and shit, right? So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? This guy is, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when he was calling the police, he did it in a like an aggressive way. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like, you know what I'm saying? He probably thinks, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm trying to think how you go from damn near touching me to calling the police. But as if he was following me around the store, as if he was going to like do something to me type shit. But the reason why I left because I didn't want to get the cops get called on me because I had this, you know, thing like, okay, police and stuff, right? So I said the next time I go out there, I'm not finna let the police make me go away. You know what I'm saying? This, down, and there. Like if I go out there and we see him, we fighting, right? That was my impression. You see what I'm saying? So I go up there for the final time, right? And this is recorded. I got it recorded on the other phone, but I can never retrieve that phone again, so it's gone, you know what I mean? But I walked inside the store. There was a worker that said something to me. I ignored her, right? Because I wasn't even on that time to, you know what I'm saying, be all, you know what I'm saying, like friendly and stuff. Like I'm in a serious mood. Like I'm looking at my surroundings. I'm ready to fight type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I walk in there. I didn't see him, right? At the last minute, he want to come out. You see what I'm saying? So he know I was in the store type shit. He knew I was in the store. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew I was going up there. You know what I'm saying? He had minutes to prep this shit. He wanted to come out, right? The second he came out, I was about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I walked. I said, bro, what's up, bitch? You know what I'm saying? I was running after as I was following him around the store. I was going to fight for all my life. I was following him around the store and shit. He didn't want to fight, man. You know what I'm saying? He was walking around and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's like, no, 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 no. And this girl tried to interfere and shit like that, right? But the girl thinking it's like a game or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Until she kind of realized towards the end, shit this is real life. Like, this guy disrespected me twice, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going out like that, you know what I mean? Like, you can't disrespect me twice and then flee like a punk. That's not how it works, you know what I'm saying? Live up to that same energy you did, you see what I'm saying? But I eventually left him alone and shit. I was going to go willingly to the police. But anyway, I was following around the store and shit. And then I eventually stopped. I should have threw something at him. If I could go back in time, I would have threw a wine bottle at his ass and knocked his ass out. That's what I would have did, you know what I'm saying? After that torture I've been through, I would have. But, you know, you just wasn't thinking about that at the time. I was just thinking about, like, man, can I catch this guy? Can I get up close to him? You know what I'm saying? I got this girl in the way. It's all this, like, it's just interfering, right? And not to mention the fact I saw a dude reach in his pocket as if he had some shit. You know what I'm saying? He reached in his pocket, like, as if he, like, you know what I'm saying, was toting something. You know what I'm saying? I still didn't give a fuck. I said, look, I'm going to go out in style. You know what I'm saying? I seen all the death threats, all that in between. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm going to go out in style, right? You know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying? What ended up happening was I eventually stopped. I'm like, bro, I'm not finna chase no man that's like 40, 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped doing that, right? You know what I mean? So then I'm chatting with this girl, right? She a hater. You know what I'm saying? And she jealous of me and shit like that. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, the conversation we had, it was like, you know, so we was just conversation. She was pulling a little front for the camera or whatever, right? But we was talking and shit. And I remember she was like, I told her my YouTube channel name. I told her my YouTube channel is The Only Poetic. And she said, The Only Party? I'm like, no, bitch, The Only Poetic. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, nah, The Only Poetic. And she said, The Only Party. She said, The Only Party because, you know what I'm saying, there was this guy, he made a song saying, you know, he think that it's time for the party to die or whatever. I'm the party or whatever, right? So that's why she said The Only Party and stuff like that, right? But I'm chatting with her and stuff like that. And like I said, I didn't catch on to this till after I got to jail. Like, when in the moment of this happening, I did not catch on to some of the slick talk that she was doing. It was like, you know, you just in the moment. Like, I was in a moment getting ready to fight somebody, so I didn't catch on. The only thing I really caught on to, I forgot, it was this other thing she said. That was the only thing I was kind of suspect about, but it was clear as day she didn't want to talk to me. She was like, you know, I hate her and jealous and shit, but I'm like, you don't understand my point of view and shit, do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in the wrong in this situation. This guy tried to fight me 2 times in a row. Like, how am I the bad guy in this situation? Like, make it make sense, bitch. Like, why are you looking at me as the bad guy? I'm trying to understand that. This dude claimed that he shouldn't have came out if he didn't want to fight. Why the fuck did you come out as I'm getting ready to leave? Right in my sight. You should have either been there at the door in the beginning, or you should have came at all. Why you coming? Why right when I'm getting ready to leave? Like, you make it seem like you looking for trouble. You either about it or you not. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck are you coming out for? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? You looking at me as I'm a bad guy or something like that. Like, what? Your coworker is the bad guy, bitch. You know what I'm saying? He should not have been trying to press me and fight me and damn near touch me. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? But anyway, you know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I'm saying? They end up calling the police and shit, right? Like I said, there was death threats leading up to this. I seen shit on social media and shit. It was pretty much in a situation where if I were to say something out of the ordinary or whatever, the police would, you know, get rid of me. You know what I'm saying? I seen stuff on social media, pop my shit, you know what I'm saying? Die, exclamation points, all that in between. I seen it all, you know what I'm saying? They were going to use a cop to try to get rid of me. Like, please, don't use no cop and don't use jail to try to get rid of me. You got to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Use no law enforcement, no jail. You know what I mean? I just got to say that real quick, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I do need to say, I need to have a kid before anything, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get into that later on in the video. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, when that happening, you know what I'm saying, the cop ended up coming, right? You know what I'm saying? The cop ended up coming, cop came up and stuff like that. I told cop, look, go and arrest me. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the wrong here. I'm not going to deny, I'm not finna argue with you. I'm ready to go to jail, do these 3 days and get out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna do these 3 days, live happy ever after, just like I did with Circle K. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna do a couple days and leave. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking, right? He want to talk in the store for some stupid reason. You know what I'm saying? Probably because I have my phone out or whatever, right? So we talking in the store and shit. He asking me questions or whatever, this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? And then he said something like stupid and like out of bounds. So I checked him. I'm like, don't you get smart with me, don't you do it. And then he attacked me out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He grabbed me out of nowhere. I wasn't even expecting for him to even grab me like that, right? But he grabbed me out of nowhere. Tackled me on the ground, right? Aggressive as fuck, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself, like, man, if I say something else to this nigga, he might get more aggressive, might tase me type shit, or shoot me, right? I want to mention this before I go later on in the story. I've come across police, you know what I'm saying? Like, before this incident, I almost got tased in the face by police before, right? Me and when me and police, when we like are out and about, we don't get along well. Like, not too long ago, I had 3 police surround me, right? I knew if I was to say something, if I was to raise my voice or say a little much extra, they was either going to arrest me or shoot me in that parking lot by Publix, right? You know what I'm saying? So you just know how cops be. That's why I say how cops are like my #1 enemy and shit like that, right? So that's why it be like, they be all weaponed up, uniformed up, bulletproof vests, all that in between, right? All this other shit, you know what I'm saying? Cops, they because they got that shit, they above the law and shit. See what I'm saying? So that's why I know how to talk to cops. You gotta talk to them like they, you know, kids and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they stupid, they retarded and shit, they under that spell and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So you talk to them like they normal and shit, they won't detain you for no reason. This cop literally detained me for no reason, right? So this cop decided to detain me and shit, right? Didn't even see it coming. So once I got up and shit, that's why I started speaking my mind and shit. I said, look, man, you a bitch, you a pussy, you a cracker, all that other shit. I don't normally talk like that, right? But I had to let them know what's up. Like, but that was some bitch ass shit you did, you know what I'm saying? I talking to cops worse than that and did not get arrested, you know what I'm saying? This shit was planned. This is what they wanted, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not finna go out by no cop. I would rather die by that CVS worker than the fucking police. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going out like that. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, I let him arrest me. I was trying to go to his fucking car, but he want to talk in the store for some reason, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is what it is, right? You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? I end up, you know what I'm saying? I am speaking my mind in the car to his ass, this, that, and the third. He had a reinforcement come. I told him my part of the story. He agreed with me. He knew I was right. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew that police was racist. That was stupid as fuck. He wasn't even supposed to do that shit. Like, why the fuck are you detaining me for just saying, don't get smart with me, don't you do it? Why the fuck are you detaining me for that reason? That don't even make sense, you fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? I got detained and put through all that torture just because I checked a bitch that went out of bounds with me. You know what I'm saying? It's just dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't even went up to that CVS. You know what I'm saying? But I can rewind one time. If the nigga went around for me and shit, I would have walked out. You know what I'm saying? But I had to stay for my pride. That's my pride kicking in, right? I said, bro, I'm not gonna let you run me off with the police. I will sit here and wait for their ass. You know what I'm saying? Police, you don't scare me, bitch. Just because you got fucking weapons and a uniform, that don't mean shit. I don't give a damn. You take that bullshit out, I'll beat the fuck out you, pussy. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, they got that shit on, so you can't really do much. You know what I mean? So anyway, after that shit got done and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because cops, they love to use weapons on me and shit, you know what I mean? But it's like, it is what it is, you know what I mean? But anyway, So what ended up happening was I'm talking to the reinforcement. I let him know he agreed with me. Like he knew that shit I got detained. He should just gave me a warning type shit, and that shit would have been normal and shit. And none of this ever would happen. America would never been falling apart. Niggas wouldn't have got killed. Niggas in jail wouldn't have got hurt or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But you know, what all it takes is one person to ruin everything. You know what I'm saying? That's all it takes. You know what I mean? So I ended up switching cars. I go with the other cop. I was supposed to go get sent to Appalachia. They wanted to send me to jail for some dumb reason. So I got sent to jail. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to get out on a $50 leave. You know what I'm saying? But what happened was I was checking myself on the thermal heat vision and stuff like that. They see me feeling my leg or whatever, right? I was looking at my leg and stuff like that, right? And what happened was, as soon as I did that, that's when they decided to put me in the system or whatever, right? Not to mention if I had a scar on my face by this police, right? I didn't even notice that. I didn't even know I had that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know I was going to get a scar on my face. I didn't even feel it, you know what I'm saying? All I felt was my leg. I didn't feel no scar on my face, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even feel that, man. So, you know what I'm saying? After that, they put me, you know what I'm saying? They put me in the system wherever I get my jail cell. You know what I'm saying? I get my jail cell, shit like that, right? I get my jail man and shit like that, right? Now, at first, I'm not really in the mood to talk. You know what I'm saying? I got a gash on my face and my leg scratched up from a racist cop. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what I'm saying? He chatting and shit like that. Like I'm listening to him. I'm low key talking, but as time goes on, we talk more and more and more and stuff like that. You know, he low key was kind of out of balance. You know what I'm saying? Like he was talking this shit. I mean, I'm not saying everything he's saying was negative, but like, you know what I'm saying? Most of the shit he was saying was just complete bullshit. Like, nigga was a hater, you know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it a beer with you. Like, you're a hater, you know what I'm saying? You're a hater. But at the same time, he said a little bit of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? He's not like a complete dumbass hater. He just like a, you know, a typical hater you just come across, a typical hater, a jealous person. But at the same time, he said a couple, you know what I'm saying, shit that had, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of meaning to it as far as like he was trying to give me some motivation as far as like, you know, certain situations and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about certain personal issues I got or whatever. I kind of forgot. It's not really that important, you know what I mean? But just that and the third, right? But it came to a point where this nigga was really, really talking shit, you know what I'm saying? He was, you know what I'm saying, questioning if I'm gay or something like that, you know what I'm saying? He was doing this and that. So I had to check him, you know what I'm saying? I had to check his eyes, you know what I'm saying? Once I did that, he stopped talking for good. Like, I don't know what it was, but he just stopped talking. Didn't even eat anymore. He didn't eat anymore, and he stopped talking. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? You know what I'm saying? This dude talking as if he's the toughest guy in the goddamn jail. I mean, he was talking like, he was like, look, you know what I'm saying? We about to steal all their treasures. That's what he was saying that shit. He said, once they let us out, we gonna steal all their plates. That's what he was saying, right? And they never let us out, of course. But that's what he was talking. He talking like, you know what I'm saying? He like Bruce Lee or some shit. He talking like he Jet Li, or he talking like he like Muhammad Ali or a great boxer Floyd or some shit. He talking like he like the top MMA black belt 10th degree or something. He talking like he does this or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, okay, if you could give me some food and shit, all that other shit, that's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? But they never let us out or some shit. You know what I mean? And then when I checked this out, I'm thinking to myself, ain't no way this guy's a goddamn fighter. You know what I'm saying? I just said a little some shit to him, and he shut up and stopped eating because of that. You know what I'm saying? I guess because I don't really know. I can't really, you know what I mean? I don't really know, but that's what ended up happening, right? So after I did that, they sent me to another cell because they noticed, like I said, I get thermal heat washed and stuff, so they know, okay, this guy's not eating, they're not talking. They decided to send me to another cell and shit. I don't want to say this though. When I was in when I was in Pod A, right? When I was in Pod A, there was a little bit of shit talking, but it wasn't as bad when I got inside the G Pod. But when I was in Pod A, it was a little bit of shit talking, but it wasn't a whole lot compared to the G Pod. G Pod, it was like I was ready to like end it all. but I'm glad I managed to battle through that shit, man. But A Pod definitely wasn't as bad as G Pod. I was on the upstairs instead of downstairs, right? Downstairs, that's where all like, you know what I'm saying, like the 2-3 days are at. Upstairs is like where the like months, you know what I'm saying, people are at and stuff like that, right? You know what I mean? So that's where I was at and shit. So they ended up transferring me to another room. I get another roommate. He's a hater, he's jealous too, all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? But he's a little bit more better, you know what I'm saying, than the other one, right? Because like, okay, he got me a tablet, you know what I'm saying? Because of him, I left the room, you know what I'm saying? He was able to get me out of the room. You know what I'm saying? We had better conversations and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, all that other shit, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? This is probably one of the best jailmates I had. I think the best jailmate I had was probably when I very first went to jail with Publix, right? Then I'll say after that, I think after that, it might be him. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the strength of he got me a tablet and he got me to get out the room kind of at will. Like because of him, like we was low key leaving that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I will definitely, you know what I'm saying? It will be when I went to Publix, then this guy. But after them two, I will probably say I think it will probably be what other jailmates I had. I think this other jailmate I had. He was like, kind of young a little bit, but he was alright though. You know what I'm saying? He was alright though. Cause I had this other jailmate. This is why I went to Circle K. I had that illegal arrest shit, right? I had this first jailmate I had. He was a complete. He was good at first, but at nighttime he turned into a complete bitch hoe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck happened to his ass. So they sent me to another room. I had him get another jailmate. He was a little bit better, but towards the end, that jailmate he tweaked out too. You know what I'm saying? But the young jailmate who's better than that old jailmate I had or whatever the fuck. But it was like the second time I went to jail, it was like I was on protective watch. First time I went to jail, I had a cool ass roommate who wasn't gonna do shit to me. Third time I went to jail, when I was with the last time I just came out of jail, it was kind of like anything goes with those roommates. Like it was very possible for me to fight that guy I was with that was talking shit the very first time. Not the second guy I was with. The second guy, I don't think he was. It seemed as if he was leaning towards that point, but he wasn't really like. He kind of understand the situation. Like you know what I'm saying. I'm kind of just I'm just testing him to see you know what I'm saying if he ready or not because I feel like him and everybody knew I was getting ready to go to confinement and shit. He kind of thinking to himself like, man, the only way you getting out of confinement, you gonna have to fight. So he probably just tried to prepare me type shit. That's probably why he was kind of doing that a little bit. But as far as like the first guy, we was very like capable of like fighting type stuff. Like we was like it was very possible we could have brawled in that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was very possible for us to get in a fight. But it was like, man, when I checked this guy, he just stopped talking and stopped eating. I'm like, okay, this guy's not I don't know. That was weird, you know what I mean? But anyway, so back to my second roommate. He ended up leaving, you know what I'm saying, and all that other shit. But thankfully, you know, he got me this tablet, and I got room to myself. But like I said, once he left, it was hard. It was harder for me to get out, but I was still able to get out just because, you know, I had to bribe my way. You know what I'm saying? Again, I had to, you know, knock on the door repeatedly, keep hitting that shit. You know, and eventually I was able to get out. Then they called me for that preacher. What's that shit? The public defender shit. I spoke to him one time. He never got back with me. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying. And afterwards, they stopped letting me out for good. You know what I'm saying? They stopped letting me out for good. So I was just in there. You know what I'm saying? I was in there for a long time. And like they not letting me out. You know what I'm saying? They is not letting me out at all. You know what I'm saying? So it was like you know what I mean. They just keeping me in there and stuff like that, right? You know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, I need to force myself out. You know what I'm saying? I need to force myself out. That's the only way out. I gotta force myself out. And before I get into me forcing myself out, I want to speak on some of the situations that happened, right? So there was police that was trying to help me escape. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew, okay, we can't. It was kind of like you know a situation of this is something I had to call on. It was kind of like once I went to CVS, all the rules and regulations dropped, right? But I didn't know this. You know what I'm saying, at the time, you know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking this cop is just trying to help me illegally escape because he's a good cop. Turns out, you know what I'm saying, once I went to jail and shit, all rules of America got dropped. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to help me get out because he know I shouldn't be here type shit, you know what I mean? So he opened the back door, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, okay, I gotta fight somebody to get out. I gotta fight somebody on the backside. I gotta fight them real quick. And I'm scot free. I'm going. You know what I'm saying? That's what I get ready to do, right? He was scared to fight me because he saw me shadow boxing, right? So they closed the door. They said, nah. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have him do that, right? Then I got released, right? I got released. They released us, right? And there was like 13 or 14 guys at a jail cell, or 12 or 11, wherever the fuck. And as I'm walking, you know what I'm saying? I was looking at the guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, do I go in there? He was like, no. You know what I'm saying? So he lied and stuff. When in reality, all I had to do, if I could rewind time, I should have just kept walking to inside that jail cell. Well, 14 or 13, 12, how many people were in there? I would have left. I would never have that confinement experience, all that other stuff. I would never be the person I am today if I would just left and wouldn't even talk to him, right? But it was sort of the lines of all he had to do was do a head nod or do an eye roll or something like that. But he trying to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't understand the point of that. Like, you let me out to try to help me escape, but when I asked you, you say no. If you didn't want to say no, you could just nod your head or roll your eye. I would have went and we would have been good. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I didn't want to go in there because I'm thinking at the time, I don't want to be no fugitive. I got this public defender that's supposed to get back with me and stuff, all that in between. That's the only reason why I didn't win. But if I could rewind time, I would have went. And none of this would ever been an issue, right? But, you know, it is what it is, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, you know what I'm saying? Those are the two main things I thought I'd point out. But that guy, he was trying to help me escape. He was low-key a cool cop back when Pod A. In Pod G, he was useless, you know what I'm saying? But in Pod A, he was trying to help me escape, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So eventually I'm like, okay, I gotta force myself out or whatever, right? So here goes this cop, right? Here goes this cop. I thought I mentioned this, right? So this cop, before he got ready to open my door, he asked two jail cells beside me, are you okay with going to medical? Or are you okay with going to medical? So what that meant was he knew he was getting ready to pepper spray me because he knew I was getting ready to escape and stuff. I didn't know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what medical meant. I'm thinking, okay, he think he gonna harm me. I think he think he gonna beat me up and send me to medical. I'm like, bring it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm like, okay. But he knew he was gonna pepper spray me. That's why they sent me to medical, right? You know what I'm saying? So what they did was they opened the door. And once they opened it, you know what I'm saying? I tried to walk out. He pushed the fool against me. I pushed him back. He jumped back, right? So I kind of threw on my set a little bit. I gave him a little jab, right? I kind of sized him because I'm trying to see what he on. Because, you know, typically, you know, cops and stuff, they like to grab and tackle, right? So I was kind of preparing for that, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of sizing him. I didn't just want to rush at him because, well, what if this nigga, you know, what if he can fight? You know what I'm saying? What if he got a good set? What if he got a heavy punch? You know what I'm saying? You never just want to charge at somebody's shit. That's how you get knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? That just, you know, for people out there, I was wondering why did I run up on him, run up in his shit. He's a fucking cop. Well, who runs up in a cop shit? You know what I'm saying? Be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, I'm trying to size him up. I'm trying to see if he gonna grab me, if he gonna use a weapon. I threw it all on the line. You know what I'm saying? Doing that. That was really risky what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I said, I gotta get out of this jail cell. Like, I'm taking a risk and stuff. That was the last big risk I took. You know what I'm saying? But I did that. He pepper sprayed me, right? This was like the crazy, because I was thinking pepper spray was going to be like mist. I thought it was misty. It just go in your face. It just mist. It burns for 10, 20 minutes and that's it. This was a different type of pepper spray. Like, this pepper spray was thick, brown liquid. You see what I'm saying? And when he sprayed it, I saw it on my eye. Like, I saw it go. So it kind of startled me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And it burned like fuck. It hurt my ears, my nose, my mouth, all that in between my throat. I was screaming like a girl, man. I was screaming really loud. It hurt, you know what I'm saying? It hurt, you know what I mean? I was like, what is this? Like, what is this, like new pepper spray they just built or something? Like, what the fuck is this? So I was screaming. I was like, oh my goodness, like, am I gonna go blind today or some shit? You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? And I was in medical and stuff. They sending me down trying to check my blood pressure and stuff like that. I ain't got time for this. Get me to a water fountain or a sink so I can flush my eyes out. You know what I'm saying? Them doctors try to take their sweet time and ask me questions, take my blood pressure. Like, no. Give me some fucking water so I can flush my eyes out. This shit burn. You know what I'm saying? I got time to sit here and talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm startled as fuck and you just spray me with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Why are we just sitting here wasting time? You know what I mean? So I said, fuck that shit. And they sent me to my cell or whatever, right? And once they sent me to my cell, I had to try to flush my eyes out and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Doing all that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm flushing my eyes out and shit. And I was burning for like 2 days, right? You know what I'm saying? I had to change clothes and shit. My clothes was burning me. All that shit. They didn't give me soap for the first week. No, I don't think they gave me soap for like the first 2 weeks or so. They didn't give me no toothbrush for a whole month. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give me no tissue and shit. They didn't give me none of that shit. They threw me in there. They threw me in there and basically said, die. That's pretty much what they said. They said, once you did that shit, die, bitch. That's pretty much what they said. You ain't coming back out. You know what I mean? They threw me in there and said, good riddance. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what they say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's a chance you could get out, but we want you to die because you try to punch a cop. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what they say. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? It was like, once I was in there and shit, it was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm in here right now, right? I mean, there's a chance I could get out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to still stay strong-minded and shit. So about a week or two later, they let me out the first time, right? I think they let me out because I was supposed to speak with my lawyer or something like that. There was no lawyer on the screen, so I walked back there type shit, right? You You know what I mean? And like I said, when I was walking to speak with my lawyer, there was a cop, there was a sheriff following me. You know what I'm saying? I want to mention that as well. So everybody thought I could try to escape. No, that wasn't possible because there was a sheriff armed following me. You know what I'm saying? And just to mention the fact, I got pepper spray for trying to escape. Like, why would I attempt that again 2 weeks later? That don't even make sense. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what I mean? So that's what ended up happening, right? So I get thrown back in. I get released to speak to a doctor. That shit was useless. I did end up going to court though. This is something worth mentioning, man. I almost got released, man, but I was talking too much because I was excited. I was like, okay, I'm about to get released from this hell. But I was talking too much. Public defender was terrible. Judge was a hater. Threw me in there and said, look, no, we're going to push your court date back and hopefully you get out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she pretty much said, look, died. That's pretty much what she said, you know what I mean? So they threw me back, you know what I'm saying? They threw me back in jail and shit, you know? They threw me back in jail and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I went back in there and shit. I'm in this confinement shit. Once I got in confinement, man, it was very cold. You know what I'm saying? It was cold. It was only a couple moments throughout the confinement. It was warm. My body was starting to deteriorate. I'm going to describe the symptoms before I get to a few stories of this shit. And then I want to describe after confinement. Because I don't want to make this video longer than an hour, right? So I want to make it around the hour mark. So the symptoms I had in confinement, you know what I'm saying, was simply, you know what I'm saying, I was very cold. You see what I'm saying? My insides hurt. As far as like my organs, my ribs, all my insides hurt. My back hurt because I was sleeping on a thin little mattress pad. My body was itching. You see what I'm saying? What else? What I said? Okay. Body itching, body pain on the outside and organs hurt, ribs hurt, back hurt. Oh, I had loose teeth, bad teeth. You know what I'm saying? My cells, my blood cells were definitely messing up because I had runny nose. You know what I'm saying? I was sniffing a little bit. Throat was sore and shit. My throat was sore. It's just like symptoms like that. Like every bad symptom you can think of, that's what I had. You know what I'm saying? So it was like my body was deteriorating. You know what I'm saying? And I could have very much probably did like 10, 20 years in there and still been alive, but it's just my body would have been so broken down to the point where I probably could barely get up to get a tray type shit. Excuse me, my throat getting a little dry. I'm talking a lot. It would probably be so bad I'm barely able to get up and get a plate. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it would probably have been if I was staying there, like, you know what I'm saying, that long type of shit. Because it was, my body was popping like popcorn. Like, it was just, my body would kept popping and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I seen some of the rioters that were inside there. It was some interesting rioters I seen in there. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and there. Everybody knew I was getting ready to come here at some point in time because they knew how I act. They know how I could get. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So they had this pre-planned. They had this pre-written. I do want to also mention this. There was a writing. You see what I'm saying? There was a writing. You know what I'm saying? There was I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? This is something I think is worth mentioning though. I say like there was like a woman. You know what I'm saying? At this window, right? There was this window with crosses on it, right? And it had times on it and shit. It was this window, you know what I'm saying, with this girl, you know what I'm saying, on it or whatever, right? I would say that's probably either referring to like, okay, this young girl or whatever, right? So it's probably referring to either a big fan, either one of my cousins, or a possibility of me having a child, you know what I'm saying, you know, doing to these crosses or whatever, right? And then, you know, I see other writers, you know what I'm saying, in it, or, you know what I'm saying, all that in between. There was other writers I see underneath the bed, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and third, but I thought that was a writer worth mentioning, you see what I'm saying? But this cell was made because people knew how people disrespect me. They knew eventually I'm going to turn up. People know how I could get, so they knew I was going to come here eventually, you know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying, it was like, you know, once I came here type shit, I was thinking to myself, like, am I gonna get out? So I had to, you know, force my way out. So how I got out was I had to stop speaking in the microphone. I was always getting left, you know what I'm saying? I was always speaking in the microphone. And at first it was cool to speak in the microphone. I like to speak on this and speak on that. But then, you know what I'm saying, I had to get a little serious, you know what I'm saying? I had to step away from the microphone and start talking on my bed, talking, you know what I'm saying, just talking. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking on my bed and shit. I'm talking about how fucked up this country is, how fucked up this jail shit is. I started talking shit to the jailmates because the jailmates, they be talking shit. I ignored the jailmates 90% of the way. I said, I'm not finna argue with no jailmate. But after a while, you know what I'm saying, I snapped on them. I said, look, I'm gonna start talking. I talked a little bit of shit back to them, this, that, and the third. But them niggas was talking heavy shit. Like, them niggas was talking so much. And there was microphones inside my jail cell, right? So I was hearing shit I should have even been hearing. Like, I went inside, I could hear damn near the important shit. I heard the important shit inside the jail. You know what I'm saying? I heard some shit on the outside the jail. You know what I'm saying? Then I heard made up, make believe shit. You see what I'm saying? That's why I heard all that in between, right? So there's a lot of stuff I discovered I just never disclosed on camera yet. And I'm not going to just for privacy purposes. But, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, it was like, man, some of that shit I heard inside my jail cell, I was not ready to hear. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad I heard it because it made me become more immune, you know what I'm saying, to hatred and envy and not be offended by anything. Like, I don't get offended by verbal words. The only thing I get offended by is when somebody try to fight me, try to get close to me, try to start something for no reason, or when people fuck with my food. And the reason why when people fuck with my food is this shit I'm putting inside me, man. You see what I'm saying? Especially now since I'm on this diet and stuff. Please don't mess with my goddamn food. I don't want none of your germs. You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get sick. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit in between. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck are you doing that, you evil bitch? You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with my food, man. Just make the shit properly and give it to me. You know what I mean? So those are the only two things that offend me at this point in my life. Back then, before I went to jail, I used to get offended by a whole bunch of stuff. I used to get offended by people who throwing away garbage. I used to get offended by, you know what I'm saying, bitches turning me down. I used to get offended by, you know what I'm saying, just little shit, you know what I'm saying, by these slaves in my house. You know what I'm saying? I used to get offended by, okay, I used to get offended by, you know what I'm saying, just that, the third, so when I came out, you know what I'm saying, I just looked at life a little bit more differently to where not to take nothing offensive. You see something, you know what I'm saying? Y'all probably wondering, you know what I'm saying? I see some shit on social media. Why did I talk about it? Because I'm not offended by it. You see what I'm saying? This, done, and third. I see bullshit on social media all the time. I give no fucks. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I might see some bullshit in real life. I give no fucks. You see what I'm saying? The only thing that bothers me is when somebody try to physically start a fight with me or when people fuck with my food. That's the only thing that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Out of that, I don't take offense to none of that shit. And that's what this jail taught me. You know what I'm saying? I heard so much bad shit inside this jail. It was like, I feel as if when they release me, I should be out of America. Like, there's no way I'm still in Tallahassee with all this shit I've heard and discovered and how people really feel. Like, why am I still here for it? You know what I mean? But, you know, they want to keep me hearing shit that's down the third. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I heard all type of shit, man. It was just the worst shit you could say to somebody. That's what I heard inside this jail. So, like, the worst shit you could say to somebody, that's what I heard inside this jail cell. And then some. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? You just, you know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, this jail cell, it taught me to become more statue. So what that means is my body kind of back to reacting to noises and certain things and certain shit I see. But back when I was in confinement, I was more statue. So what that meant was, like, I don't get bothered by a noise or a loud noise. Or I don't get bothered by a vision. You see what I'm saying? This simply because you're in confinement a long time, and I trained my body this way because I thought it would help me get out. You know what I'm saying? Quicker or whatever, whatnot. And then, you know, it sort of did. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I was getting ready to get released because I was getting ready. This police was trying to help me leave. This, that, and the third. I was supposed to go to court. But what sped up my process of me getting released was they let me out to take a shower, right? I was trying to escape. I'm like, okay, if you let me out, I'm looking for exits. You know what I'm saying? If I get the opportunity to get out, I told myself, if I get the opportunity to get let out, I'm looking for exits. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. What I should have did was I should have just stood out there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I should have did. But I'm looking for exits. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I ended up doing, right? Then, you know what I'm saying? As I'm talking to the police, he pulled out his taser for some reason. I'm like, why are you pulling out your taser for, right? So I'm backing up, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to get tased. You know what I'm saying? And then at the last moment while I'm talking to him and stuff, he tased me, you know what I'm saying? And I felt the electricity, so I jumped back, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, you ain't never coming back out again. He closed the door type shit. You know what I mean? And that was it, you know what I'm saying? Then the next day, I was just talking in the morning. I was sitting on my bed. I was explaining the situation. Thankfully, they let me on shit, and the rest is history, right? And then I went to Appalachia. They sent me to Appalachia to kind of, saying, just, rework on my mind type shit. But it was crazy, though, because Appalachia was kind of like trying to keep me there or low-key send me back to jail. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, no, please don't. You know what I'm saying? But thankfully, I had other people, in the lines. I had this other guy, he helped me get out at Appalachia. Appalachia did play a role, of my release. All that other shit. Because Appalachia could have sent me right back to jail. But this guy, he helped me, all that other shit. So it's a lot in between, Yeah, it was a lot, it's a lot, it's a lot, So thankfully, I was able to get out and shit. A lot of illegal shit. Like I said, once I went to CVS, all the rules of America dropped. You know what I'm saying? There's no more rules in America at this point. That's why I gotta get out of America. You know what I mean? I can't afford to go back to jail, especially for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I just can't afford. I know if I go back to jail this time, they're not gonna let me back out. If I go back to jail, it has to be for something. It can't be for something little. You know what I mean? So that's why, what I'm saying, I try to avoid all conflict at all costs. You know what I'm saying? I can't experience that hell ever again. Somebody like me cannot go to jail. That's what people don't realize. I cannot go to jail. I'm trying to get people to realize that, man. People keep trying to provoke me and shit. I'm not going to jail for nobody like you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you just got to get. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's simply because, I just look at life different. I just look at it as, okay, you're just a nobody who wish you were me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it as, you know what I mean? That's just me keeping it being, you know what I mean? But let's talk about the afterlife, you know what I mean? After jail, right? So after jail, you know what I'm saying? While I was in jail, I already said this. I said I was gonna cut my dreads and shit. I was gonna start a new look, a new me, a new YouTube channel. I was gonna stop rapping, all that shit, right? And I proceeded with that, and everything's working out well for me and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm a new man. You know what I'm saying? I look at things differently. You know what I'm saying? I got my own YouTube channel, Cam That Guy. Go ahead over there and subscribe. Just down the third. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know what I mean? I'm living accordingly. Just head over there and stay updated. Now it's time for me to talk about music. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for me to talk about music. Okay. So as far as music, man, there is no more music, you know what I'm saying, until I get a control over my life. So pretty much what that means is until, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I might not ever come back. You see what I'm saying? So don't get your hopes high as if I'm going to come back. But after that shit that happened to me, it's very slim to none. As long as I'm in America, I don't see me coming back to music. I'm gonna keep it real with you. As long as I'm in this ecosystem, America, I can't make music. And obviously, I just can't do it. But just because of how my music goes and the impact it has on people and stuff, it's not wise. It's not a good idea for me to make music. You know what I'm saying? So it just, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's not wise or shit. But I want to go over, some albums and mixtapes and what I, got left to give out on this channel. Alright, you know what I'm saying? So look. So, here goes the music part of this, right? So, I enjoy making music, you know what I'm saying? It was nice while it lasted, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a nice, thing for me to get into. I enjoy making music. I got a kick out of making music. It was nice. It was fun. All that in between, right? You got Rhythm and Poetry album. You got Keep It a Bean. Quality EP. August 23rd. And I got a final EP dropping, Good Memories, right? Now, I'm gonna go over each mixtape. I'm gonna explain, certain shits about the mixtapes and shit. And then go from there, you know what I mean? So look. Rhythm and Poetry was my first album. I didn't know I was gonna make this into an album, right? Some of the songs were factual as fuck. Some of the songs I had manifestation in them and past shit, all that in between. Rhythm and Poetry is say it's a beginner's album. It's a solid album. I think it's a cool album and shit, right? Favorite song on there, I would say, favorite song on there will be Neutral. So I think Neutral has a lot of relevance. You know what I'm saying? Today, you know what I'm saying? So I will go with Neutral, you know what I mean? Neutral is definitely my favorite off the album. Just that's kind of the mood right now, you know what I mean? But it's a lot of good songs out there, like Superstar, Chosen, Mario, 0/23, Butterfly, Hook a Ladder, Trump Card, No Risk, you know what I'm saying? My Way, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Good, that's a nice solid album, you know what I'm saying? I wrote all these songs. You know what I mean? Nobody helped me. You know what I'm saying? I write all my songs on my own and shit. But I would say at this time period, it was like I was doing manifestation. I was just making music. I was just making music that I wanted to hear and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, people felt as if they could discredit me and all that other shit. I'm like, okay, completely understandable, right? I don't really, care too much, right? I only care, towards the end when I started making music. And that's why I started taking it more serious, right? Then I keep it a big cable, all right. I start speaking how I really feel, but like I said, people can still take credit because I have no gun. You know what I'm saying? I'm not driving. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third, right? So that's why people could take credit for keeping it a bit, right? Quality EP, people can still take credit for that, but quality EP, it sounds better than rhythm and poetry and keep it a bit, right? It sounds better. Like that's like my best sounding mixtape ever. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? It like as far as like production, like how it sounds. You see what I'm saying? Now as far as like delivery and sales and shit, that's a different story. You see what I'm saying? But as far as just sounding and what I did with my voice, quality EP is the best one, right? And like I said, I'm not driving, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no gun, you know what I'm saying? Jury isn't real, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit, you know what I mean? But some songs off that EP, like Lost Another One, that's an accurate song and shit like that, you know what I mean? But, and you got My Story and shit, you know what I'm saying? So some of those songs out there are accurate as fuck, but they're not 100%, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's why people feel as if they can discredit and shit like that. I'm like, cool, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care, you know what I mean? Now this is what that's getting serious and shit, you know what I'm saying? This is where we get into August, the August era, right? This is where, you know what I'm saying, I started speaking more centered, like, past shit and present shit and a guaranteed future I can foresee, right? But what happened was they didn't want my future to come true. They didn't want me to get no gun, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and third, you know what I'm saying? That was really the only thing I was missing. Like, if I was to get a gun, that album would have been like 100% like my shit type shit. If I was to get my gun and my earnings, if shit was to happen for my birthday, that album would have been like a good future telling album. You see what I'm saying? It would have been accurate as fuck. Same for quality EP, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, quality EP had a couple errors in it, but quality EP was solid too. Quality EP was solid too, you know what I'm saying? Quality EP was solid too and shit. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple singles and shit, but like I said, it was just kind of was after the August album, I realized Future Predicted is not a good idea. So I knocked it out of my arsenal. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do no more Future Predicted after this August album, right? So Prelude came along, right? I mean Prelude, LERS, Artistic Violins, right? These are nice, good, factual songs that happen, right? But the problem with it was, you know what I'm saying? It was just me talking about how fucked up society is and the law and shit. It's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's cool for me to talk about this. There's some shit niggas can vibe to and shit, whatever. But I'm tired of making all these war battle songs. Let me make something a little bit more meaningful, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I went to this job arc. You know, so I decided to start making jobs. So I was talking about jobs and passive spirit. I started talking about jobs and past experiences, right? You know what I'm saying? I changed my whole wave. I went to go battle against the law, talking about job shit. Right? I went from illegal arrest to talking about Dollar Tree Home Depot, right? So this was a good change for me. And it was different from everybody to listen to. I'm like, okay, he's telling us about shit about his job and shit. Then I went to a sex saga, right? I'm like, okay, he told us about actual sex experiences. I was getting ready to go to the school saga, but I had to get arrested by CVS, right? Probably a good thing I did, because the school saga that could have went really, really bad, you know what I'm saying? Could have went good or bad, you know what I mean? I never got a chance to tell stories I wanted to tell. I was going to get into deep detail and shit. I really wanted to tell some school shit. Then I was going to tell, you know what I'm saying, just other personal stories that happened, you know what I'm saying, other little personal stories and shit. Just, all that shit in between, and then eventually I was going to get back with the law, so I was going to transfer back to that law shit, about as far as my ankle monitor, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit was going to go really well for my music career, but it got stopped by this CVS worker, this racist cop, and tyrants. That's what happened. My rap career got stopped. My rap career. My rap career was really just about to really take off. Like I was about to hit new heights. I was about to hit new stratospheres and shit. Like I was about to hit new lyricism, new flows and shit. I was eventually gonna get back to melody and shit. But my rap career had to get stopped. You know what I'm saying? By unfortunate events that happen in society. Nah. But everything happens for a reason, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I own all the rights to my songs. I write all my songs, especially Prelude and Up. No Future did this, so nobody can take credit for it. And this, that, and third. But, people will still try to find a way to discredit you or be jealous and hate and stuff like that. It's like, it is what it is what it ain't. But like I said, illegal arrest. Y'all didn't experience that. Prelude, y'all don't do with me going through that. Artistic, y'all can't do what I do. As far as artistic violins and shit, y'all can't relate to it. And then these job and sex art, you can't relate to it. You didn't experience it, especially like the good memories. Nobody can relate to that. You know what I mean? But people will still find a way to, to just discredit you or say this or that. It's like, okay, this is what it is, this is what it is. At this point, I give no fuss because I retired from music. So I'm not even pressed by it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a YouTuber now. I'm not a musician no more. So I give no fuss. I mean, this music shit does more harm than good to me. Like this music shit almost got me killed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a good thing I stopped this shit. Like I said, I had a good run. I enjoy making music. I got a kick out of this shit like that. But this music shit's not worth it to me. Like I'm better off. You know what I'm saying? Doing YouTube something a little bit safer. You know what I'm saying? Something a little bit safer. You know what I mean? But all in all, you know what I'm saying? It's been nice making music. I enjoy doing it. I think I, impacted some people, especially the more music I made, I feel like the more impact I was going to have. Like, people was really going to learn something. I was really going to have people learn information about me through music. I was really going to speak to the world through music, but it got stopped just by, tyrants and, civilians, you know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate I couldn't get into deep detail and shit because I was really getting a kick out of, around songs and shit. I was really getting a kick out of storytelling. There's a difference between writing some bullshit and writing a story that actually happened to you. So pretty much what that means is like, okay, for example, a song like Artistic, I wrote that like in 2 hours, right? That's just some bullshit. Whereas a song like Scammed, I wrote that like in 4 hours. You see what I'm saying? That's like real shit. Even though the second half of the song was kind of bullshit, I wrote that about like an hour or some shit. It's kind of like, it's a difference between writing some shit you gotta think back in the past and go like, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened, and this happened, versus just throwing a bunch of bullshit on the paper. You see what I'm saying? So in other words, best experience, right? I literally went from, this to this to this to this to this to this. Like I went in order. STD, I went from this to this to this to this to this to this, right? Even the jobs, you know what I'm saying? The 2000s shit, like the Home Depot Part 1, I went from this to this to this to this to this. Home Depot Part 2, I low key went from this to this to this. I mean, I did it in the first page. Second page was kind of bullshit, right? But basically what I'm trying to say is a difference between like you're actually trying to tell a story that happened in order that you gotta write about and make it make sense versus just throwing some bullshit on the paper, if that makes sense, right? So it's like I was writing like a poem type shit. Like I'm writing something real as fuck. I gotta make it rhyme and make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Versus just regular bullshit. You see what I'm saying? And I gotta think back on it because it's a past experience that happened like 5 years ago. So that's the reason why I say it took a little while for me to get that done and shit. But I managed to get it done and it worked out well for me and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, well, it didn't happen literally 5 years ago, but it happened years ago, like 2 or 3, some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? It just, it did. When you think back on the events that happened in your past and you gotta make it make sense, you gotta make sure the storyline goes in order and shit. You know what I mean? It's just shit like that you gotta take into consideration. But never got a chance to go through what I wanted to do as far as music wise. I'm glad I got stopped though, because it done more harm to me than good. It does nothing good for me. Music has done nothing good for me in life. I mean, it gave me notoriety, it gave me fame and shit like that. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? it ain't do a whole lot for me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't do nothing beneficial for me. Like I feel like YouTube. I mean, at least YouTube got more money in my pocket. What I feel like, you know what I mean. So I roll with that. You know what I mean. But that's probably just for drastic Comic-Con with drastic mergers because I got events and shit happening in my life. I gotta try to hurry up and get out of this house before something bad happen and shit. But I mean, and music is just, you know what I'm saying? It's just this more to life than making music. Music, it was good while it lasted, you know what I'm saying? But it's safer for me not to do it while I'm in America. I got a lot of enemies in the music industry and, just regular, people in general. Generally, I have enemies in general. I have rivals in general, you know what I'm saying? So I have rivals in general. So it's just, I have a bunch of evil, fucked up people out there that don't like me. So I go through a lot, you know what I mean? But it is what it is what it ain't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That can be done, you know what I mean? But it was good while it lasted and shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I do want to get ready to say I do got 08/23 part 2. I do have to drop a music video to the song. You see what I'm saying? This is my birthday song. I need to do a music video to my birthday song. I don't have a birthday. I don't have a birthday music video on my channel. You see what I'm saying? I need to put a birthday music video on my channel. Like, there's no way I can't do that. I have to put that on my channel. So, that's going to definitely come. So after this video, you know what I'm saying? Good Memories will be dropping on Friday. Then I got birthday song dropping whenever, and that'll be the end of this channel for a while. There's a chance I could come back to this channel. There's a chance I might just end on birthday songs. So it's to be determined, you know what I mean? But this is the final talking video, as we know. You know what I'm saying? You don't never know what could change, but this is the final video on the Only Poetic channel at this moment and shit. Make sure you head over to Cam That Guy. You know what I'm saying? Head over to Cam That Guy. That's where my YouTube videos will be. That's where I post and shit like that. I'm trying to get better at content creating over there. I'm trying to just do better shit over there. You know what I'm saying? So head on over there and subscribe and shit. You know what I mean? And, just stay tuned and shit. That's pretty much all I got to say for this. You know what I'm saying? It's been real, guys. And y'all have a good one.